Good morning. Ignore my hair. I haven't brushed it yet, but the kids are asleep. Noise in the background is cats. For those that are new to my channel, understand I have 2 children, and I now have 8 cats. And at the moment, I'm living in a tent. So noise is an issue. I actually haven't done videos in a while because of the chaos that my life has been in, and there is no such thing as quiet. But I was able to do a quiet one yesterday, so we'll see what we can do from now on. I had a suggestion yesterday on the Facebook page to put a video up of who I am to introduce people to me. So I thought I'd take a few minutes while it's still relatively quiet. First, my name is Mindy Crouch. I am a 20-year veteran of the Air Force, married, and pretty much just talked about my kids. I have written 3 books at this point. This is my first one, Details About Rosemary. Okay. This is my second one, Druidic Rune Path, which is currently in revision because I published it and then realized it wasn't fully complete. I still had a few questions that need to get answered and need to get put in that book, and I'm going to do probably 2 videos on that book after I do this one. Well, one immediately following, and then the other one will be after it's completed, so I can do a intro of what the book is about, flipping through the pages and whatnot. And then my third book is this one, Little Lessons of Life in Nature, and that is my first poetry book. There's going to be at least 2. I fell in love with writing back in high school, a million years ago. So I've been writing poetry forever, since I was a teenager. And I do have some short stories, but I probably won't, I don't have any plans right now of publishing those, except for the ones I've put on my website. My website has both poetry and short stories to showcase, my writing abilities. I have 2 blogs on there, but I've kind of blurred them at this moment. The original one is my herbalism stuff. I have a master's degree in herbal medicine, and while I was in school, I started a blog to help me learn and help me do the research and things on the different herbs. So I share that research on my website. So the blog talks about the things that I've learned, and then there's an additional page where if you get a free membership, you can look at all my herbalism notes for the different herbs that I have researched. And then there's a paid for page where it's a monthly thing where you can actually access the digital copies of my book. And the reason I do that is I don't know that I'm always going to keep my books on Kindle. And if I update the book, you'll always have access to the most current revision. Anything that has been, grammatical errors or whatever. I don't know if at any point I'm going to go back into my Rosemary book and add the things I wanted to add in, because truly I published that book before I wanted to, because I just ran out of time. My life just got so hectic I wasn't able to make the book as long as I wanted it to. Understand that this Rosemary book, I had almost 200 studies that talk about why rosemary works and the things that it does for healing purposes. And my intention when I set out for that was to summarize every single one of those so that my readers would have access to the research that has been done to showcase that particular herb. And this is the model for all my future herb books, which they're put on hold now because of the current chaos. But I will get back into them eventually. So I wanted to put all 200 in there, and I only got, I think, 80 something in there or something like that. I didn't even get half of the amount of things in there I wanted to get in there. So there's potential for me to go in there and do that. So if you have the $10 monthly membership, you have access to that stuff. Plus, I intend to put the completed portions of future books in there. Like, I do know for a fact I'm going to do another poetry book. So at this point, I'm planning to put 4 poems per month for that next book on my paid for membership. Okay, that way you're actually getting something each month for that $10. A bit about the Crouch Writing Gallery, and the reason I use that name for the business stuff is I'm trying to divide up the responsibilities so that if something happens legally, the company is responsible for that, not necessarily me, depending on what the issue ends up being. So the company is responsible for publishing my work, advertising, making sure I'm within my copyright beings and I'm not infringing on anybody's copyrights, things like that. The thing with doing the herbs as a research document is it gives me some copyright leeway because these types of documents don't exist. Okay, there are papers out there, right? But not to this detailed degree. And that's why all my herb books are going to be details about, and then the name of the herb. And it's all going to be the combination of the botanical herbarium and the herbalist herbarium. And the reason that's important is because as an herbalist, if you're wanting to do wild crafting, you need to be able to tell the difference between look-alike plants. And with me doing the pictures the way I'm doing in my book for the botanical portion of it, it will help you determine exactly the way it's supposed to look when you look at the plant. Okay. Very, very important. And of course, that also gets into the how you grow it, how you use it, how, the safety precautions to use it. I share my recipes. I share other sources to go to get additional recipes, because when you're looking online for books, when it comes to herbs, you don't know what herbs you're getting in each book. Yeah. So it's fun. I bought 4 books while trying to learn about oregano, and I think like one of them actually had information on oregano. So you can spend a lot of money trying to find the books you're looking for and not find it. So my books will help you with that as well. But yeah, I just totally lost my train of thought. Someone's being cute over here. One of my cats had 4 kittens back in May. So I got all these little tiny kittens running around just having a blast. And it's very entertaining, but also distracting. But that's the herb books in a nutshell. My druid book is actually it's a spiritual healing path. It's more than just a book, right? And I was sitting here this morning and realized I need to have a accompanying notebook to go with it, because some people are cool with writing in the margins and other people are not. I would never do that. I consider it disrespectful to the book. So I'm going to do a notebook to go along with it. And then, not really much to say about the poetry book. I do all my pictures myself. At this time, I have never felt comfortable using the free available things out there, and I don't have money to hire a photographer. Fortunately for me, I have a pretty big database of pictures of things I've done throughout my life. So captioning my poetry was actually not as difficult as it could have been. So that was pretty fun. But that's me in a nutshell and what I offer. In the future, I'm planning on offering, excuse me, one of the cats is being difficult to one of the little ones here. Let her up. Let her up. There we go. Is she cute? This is Tina. In the future, I plan on also opening up some form of ministry, but I haven't doped that out yet. I will be offering rune readings. I will be offering spiritual development guidance, helping people on their spiritual healing journey. And that's what Druidic Rune Path is all about. It's spiritual healing and getting you on the path that you're supposed to be on to bring you your greatest happiness. But my biggest issue at this point is I am ordained, right? So I have all the certifications and all that stuff to get going on that. But if you certify yourself as a nonprofit, that you can lose your CO1 or 401c3 for speaking out politically. And I am not good with being muted. I will not allow anyone to take my voice. So at this point, there is no point in going nonprofit. And I don't know how to do a for-profit ministry or what I would call that. And clearly it is a pagan thing, not a Christian thing. And I don't know if that matters in terms of how things work. I have not explored that option yet because of how busy I am with everything else. It is on my to-do list. And that's part of what all this crisis stuff is in my life right now. I'm going to cry again. Basically, right now, being here with my friend is helping me learn and gain the confidence to understand that I actually can help people with the things that I'm learning and the path that I'm on. When I published Druidic Rune Path, unfortunately nobody bought the bad copies yet, so that's great. When I published Druidic Rune Path, I bought 5 copies. Sorry about that. And I gave 3 away, and one of which I gave to my friend here. And he had been struggling massively with his spirituality, trying to figure out who he is and whatnot, and where he needs to go. And I don't know, within a month of using my book and me customizing some of his meditations for him, for his healing, he has exponentially grown. It has been so amazing to see his transformation. And of course, he's still frustrated because he thinks he's not doing it fast enough. And considering how long it took me to get to where I am, because I was figuring out how to do this shit, I'm watching him do it so much faster because the path has already been laid out. And so I'm just, beaming with pride at how far he's come. It's just amazing. And I'm really looking forward to helping others do the same. It's going to be great. I know it is. I just need to figure out the methodologies. Because, again, my husband's an over-the-road truck driver. I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. And they need to be taken care of. Right? So who's going to watch my children while I'm helping others? There's logistics to be taken care of here. And I'm not at the point where I'm ready to work that stuff out yet. I've got to get my Druid book finished. It is almost done. I just need to get the history section in there so people will understand how the runes got muted to the detrimental point that they did. And I have actually found this research to be quite interesting. It's been a very interesting journey, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with everybody. But that's me in a nutshell. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and thank you for the support. Have a good day.